doggone it, there are just times I want to let that go. That's like usually like a 3-minute thing, isn't it?
I mean, if you play the whole thing, it is. It's something like 2.5 minutes or 2 minutes and 45 seconds if you play the whole thing.
That's what I thought.
The snippets of it, though, the intro was only supposed to ever be
30 seconds, I think.
a minute long, maybe 30 seconds. So it's you're doing fine.
Jason, welcome to the crew.
I think we traditionally were shutting down like a minute 58 and sort of fade out. Just saying.
Well, when we did back when we did the whole intro, it was 50. It was at 58 seconds that's where the drop is, and at 58 seconds, that's when it's a hello everybody, welcome to Vagabond Nerds. But 58 seconds is a long time to wait, so I think maybe we might shorten that up a bit.
I keep trying to explain that to certain individuals, and it doesn't work.
What are you talking about?
Not important. Jason, welcome everybody.
58 minutes. 58 seconds. Did I say 58 minutes? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We all know what you meant. Yeah. Hold on.
Hold on. What is he doing?
Hello.
Hodor.
Oh.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. We missed you too.
Okay. No. You shut your fat mouth.
Not encouraging him. No. 40 pounds lighter, buddy. My fat is going away.
You're still fat, though.
You're still fat.
Let's just keep it straight here. It still works. It applies for another.
My doctor said I'm the healthiest I've been.
You know,
I'm sure you are. Congratulations. You should be.
Speaking of doctors in Texas, I was watching a podcast from a couple of comedians that just recently moved to Austin. And of course, they had to change doctors because now they're in Austin. And she came to Austin and she has borderline high cholesterol, right? It's like, it's there. And so her doctor in California was like, you need to eat this, you need to eat that, you need to stay away from these things, stay away from that. And so she came to her doctor here and he goes, yeah, you're right. It is kind of high and you should really work on that. And she goes, yeah, but we just moved here to Austin. And she's like, I have never had barbecue like this before. I really, really want to eat the barbecue and I shouldn't, right? And he was like, well, just stay away from the sausage.
You're in Texas. It doesn't work that way.
It's like
at all.
Oh, you've got high cholesterol? Don't eat the sausage. But you know what? Ribs all day, every day. Back down on that. Get some, you do whatever you want. Brisket.
Now I'm thinking about those brisket and ribs we had the other week, Jason. I'm thinking, it's not going to work.
So what I mean by that, Ray, is if your doctor is being like, you're looking great, it's Texas. You don't look great. Keep working on it, buddy.
We've had other things pop up. So to hear that my cholesterol is where it's supposed to be, in fact, it's healthier than what it's been, and it's at normal or below. I'm pretty happy about that. Same thing with the blood pressure and sugar levels. So, just keeping it going. I'm trying to drag Jason in it with me because, quite frankly, I want there to be 2.5 sexy bitches. Sorry, Sean, you're always going to look like Beaker to me. So
I do. I don't. I don't mince words about that. I'm a goofy looking son of a bitch. That's why I drink to deal with it.
We love everybody equally. Which I wish, if you're out there, do something nice for your fellow brethren out there, and just, even if it's just a smile or not even a smile, if you're out there wearing your mask, a wink, thumbs up, something, just saying we're in it together. We're going to make it through. Jason, have we actually had an appropriate
No, because y'all keep talking over my intro. I can't get a word in edgewise. Because I'm over here trying to do the introduction.
We're shutting up. Go.
Start. And mini ass over here is like,
go.
I've got to talk through it. No. You don't want to talk about Jeremy. That's fine. It's cool. We'll just let the man who has graciously helped us through this just spin at the bottom of the screen, because you got to talk about yourself. No. Jeremy doesn't need to be praised for having all of your geeky accoutrement. We don't need to point out that you need to go to titancomics.com or call him at 214-350-4420 or visit him physically at 31284 Forest Lane, number 250 in Dallas, Texas 75234, because he's an amazing person, because you got to talk about you, because that's all you care about, Raymond, is yourself. Not Jeremy, not Titan Comics, not all of the wonderful comic books that you can buy, like this one right here, like we've been collecting. The Last Ronin, which is an amazing read. You should go get all of it. The Power Rangers from Boom Studio has been amazing. You should go buy every single one of them. We can't talk about that. No, we can't. We can't, Raymond. You won't allow us.
Look at Ray over there pretending to read. See how fast he's turning them pages?
Speed reading. You should try it, Sean.
Yeah, no, it's not.
He's like King Shark.
I'm sorry, Jason. Good. Are you done? Good God, man.
That joke was way funnier many, many years ago, Ray.
This is why I don't get married again, is because I have a wife and Jason.
Aw.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, it's true.
We got stuff to talk about today, gents.
Do we? Are you sure about that?
We do. A little bit. Everything from quick trailer hits, right? Looking at you, No Way Home. Mr. Trailer, I am going to premiere shortly after your last episode, because that's how it always works on this show, because we're not weekly.
Nope. Yep.
To what I have to say, arguably, was and I know I've said this about the Chadwick Boseman episode, and we'll get into this, but episode 4 of What If was some of the strongest writing I've seen in years.
Yeah.
Years. In 30 minutes, it was really good.
Which one was episode 4?
The Doctor Strange episode.
The Doctor Strange one.
Dude, no, that's the reason I was confused is because first off, I can't remember how many of these we've seen so far, and I know that's ridiculous, but
no, it's not ridiculous.
I was blown away by the last 2. Honestly, the last 2 episodes, I was like, "Oh, this is some good stuff." It's darker, it's heavier, it's a little bit more, and I think maybe that's why I like it. It's not just pomp and circumstance.
You know what? Let's get straight into What If.
Okay, I was about to say, it's like, at this point we might as well talk about it.
Do we want to start?
Sure.
Do we want to start with episode 3, which was basically the big week in Marvel?
Sure.
Yeah. If episode 1 was an introduction, episode 2 was a remembrance in the best possible way.
A remembrance, yeah.
Episode 3 to me was fun. Even though it was dark, it was fun in the sense of how they played it up. And I really appreciated that, because you could have gone it was a dark episode, yes, but they enjoyed it. You could tell that the writers were like, "Oh my God, what if we did this? Yeah. What if we could kill the Hulk?" You know, it was things like you could tell that they were having fun writing that episode.
Yeah.
So, to start off with, the episode is about really destroying the Avengers before the Avengers can even form. And, taking key moments from the movies in Phase 1 prior to Avengers and setting it up so that these items, these certain scenes and everything go a different way, which is what If is about. But in some really weird and interesting and kind of fun ways, especially opening it with, them accidentally killing Tony Stark.
Dude, that was phenomenal. Like, that set the tone for the whole. I mean, so with these, I'm really impressed by how quickly they're able to condense an entire film, or even sometimes like a film and a half, into a 30-minute episode. It's 30 minutes, right? Or are they 45?
About 30, between
35,
30
40,
and 40. 30 and
right
40.
In there.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's impressive to be able to pull that off and do it well. I mean, just this episode felt like, what did this feel like to me? This was I'm sitting here watching it, and the entire time I'm watching it, I'm thinking about like a movie series or something else I've seen before, almost like CSI, but it was more or less a murder. It was like an Agatha Christie novel. You know what I mean? It's a murder mystery. Everybody's dying. Okay. What the hell is happening? And I thought it was great because it's just like all these people are croaking, and it was fantastic.
You're saying Agatha Christie, and I'm sitting here thinking that when it was, it's a little bit more like Clue, because it was a little comical in some of these deaths.
That's a perfect way to go. Yeah, Clue is another great way to go about it as well. Yeah. And just
okay, yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, and no, you go ahead. Go ahead. I think I've said a good piece of it. What do you got? What do you got?
Well, I was just saying how much they leaned into the humor with Greg Clark was my favorite part of that whole thing. Like when they're looking at Thor, he's got really great hair.
Yeah,
they did the slow-mo hair whip, and then of course when he's dead,
the hair whip thing. He's like wow,
it smells like lavender.
Yeah. Like, and I love that fact that you have Fury go, huh? Like,
he does. Yeah, he does smell like lavender.
They kept it light enough while being still very, very dark with the whole premise. Because I mean, you're killing off beloved characters that we've established over the course of 18, 20 movies. That was impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
it was really good. I mean, it was. So I think if we go back to the first one where they speed run, and even to Doctor Strange a little bit, where they're speed running parts of the movie that they're in, this one gives you key scenes from three different films.
It does,
and then alludes to one from Winter Soldier, but it's like it does its own thing. It's a completely new story, but it's just giving you a lot of these key scenes, and then you watch them die in horrible, gruesome ways. But the reveal at the end, I thought was I honestly did not see that. I was like, who is killing who? How is this working? It was amazing.
When you go back and watch it, you realize exactly where Fury realizes what it's at because, what's his name? Coulson's talking to him, and he's like, yeah, and he goes, well,
hope.
Here's hope, and it's like right then and there, and you don't catch it as the viewer right away because you're thinking, oh, he's hoping. Good, they're still trying to build upon that Avenger theme of there's always a hope, there's always whatever, not realizing it was the death of Hope Van Dyne. That set that entire thing.
I mean, the reveal of that isn't far off. I mean, we're talking the next minute and a half that he shows up at her grave, at her headstone, and the moment I saw Hope Van Dyne, I just like. That was everything. It was a great reveal. It was a great reveal. That's why I thought this was such a good. It's a murder mystery, and they did it. They did it really, really well.
It's a fun episode, despite the matter at hand. It was a really fun episode. And
Knives Out. It kind of made me think of the way Knives Out was, which again, obviously, it's in that vein of Agatha Christie sort of impossible murders, and because I mean, you've got Barton dying in a locked cell when he was fine when he went in there. The Hulk explodes for no reason.
Which you're sitting there watching. They're like, "How do you kill the?" Oh, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yep. From the inside.
Yep.
I think somebody was watching season 1 of The Boys when they went, you know what? Maybe we could blow him up from the inside.
And it proves that theory that Ant-Man could have killed Thanos. And in a some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, you could have been like boop in the air and just expanded and exploded the guy, and he's gone. So
yeah, for sure.
Or at least brought a bomb in. Something. Yeah, the point is, he still could have killed him.
He could have killed him.
Actually, I'm sorry. Killed him, my favorite Ant-Man, although it's the original Ant-Man and Hank Pym as Wasp. I think my favorite thing they've ever done with him was when it was in the show. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, where they had it was like towards the end of the last season where they're sitting there, the heroes have gone and they're trying to defuse this bomb that's going to blow up Earth. It's just him and the what's her name, the one with the green hair who runs Sword in the comics. I can't remember her name.
I'm lost on that one.
Anyway,
Abigail?
Brand, Abigail Brand. Thank you. So he's sitting there with her, and she's like, so how are you going to defuse this alien bomb? He goes, I have no idea. It's an alien bomb. And she's like, but you're one of the smartest men on the planet. And he's just like, and you see him messing with the gun.
Did you miss the part where I said alien bomb?
Alien thing. Exactly. Alien bomb. It's like, I don't even know what this is, how it works. And she's like, why are you calm? We should be freaking out. It's going to blow up the planet. And he just shrinks it down. And it just goes, poof. She's like, what happened? He goes, I just shrunk it down to the subatomic level. She goes, so it didn't hurt anything? He's like, Well, I mean, I'm sure there's a few Adams that got rattled around. She's like, "Didn't you feel like telling me your plan?" He's like, "No, not really."
No, and that's the great thing about these what if stories is, again, I'm going to go back to episode 1. Introduction, good. Not by far not the best. Here I am looking at episode 2. It's enlightening. It's sad. They're having fun with the different
strings, but it wasn't phenomenal.
Again,
I liked it, but I liked it because it was just it made me more than anything. That second episode just made me realize how much I'm gonna miss Chadwick Boseman. So
yeah, and that within itself is a strong point of view, right? And so I'm sitting here, and I did, when it came out, our first review, I was like, oh my god, this is easily the top 3 episodes that have been written with within the actual MCU Disney Plus universe. We get to 3 and it was just fun. Like I said, I can't explain it, but it was fun. And then episode 4 drops.
Oh yeah.
And episode 4, the Doctor Strange episode.
That was man.
I have not seen that kind of emotion, that kind of writing in 1 in animation in quite some time, but 2 it just and really in the
Evangelion.
Yeah, and you're not wrong, right?
You'll get that kind of dark shit in Evangelion quick.
But it was the original one.
Yeah, but it's strong though. It's
Mind
strong.
Blown.
It's
Morning, Genesis.
Shut up, Genesis. But it was mind blowing to me how strong it was, because in the first 10 minutes, just seeing the repetitive deaths of the same person and seeing Strange struggle
and all the
to be able to stop it.
The different but still subtle or similar ways. Like there is no, there's no way. And then he gets to that last end bit, and the Sorcerer Supreme shows up, which Tilda Swinton, really cool to have her back voicing it again. And it gets to that point. And she says that, when she says the whole, this is an absolute moment in time.
Fixed point.
Yeah, it's a fixed event. You're never going to change it. And like the moment I heard that, I just was like, I know where this is going, and this is not going to end well. Like, this is not going to end well. And I was hoping that they would actually go that route and have the balls to go that route and say, you know what, this isn't going to end well.
Yeah, because let's be honest, like when you see the good Strange come through, you're thinking, okay, they're going to talk about, to see it play out and to see the Watcher absolutely stick that knife in and twist by not doing a thing was genius. Yeah, it was absolutely
I love
genius.
The Watcher may have been my favorite plot device for this episode. Right. I mean, everything about this episode was strong. Watching Dark Strange absorb. I mean, like, that was all amazing.
All the entities and everything. Yeah. How he builds the power up builds the power up to get the last one with the tentacles after he absorbs all those other ones beings. And
which is from the first episode, which a lot of people
I've heard
a lot of people talking about that. Yeah, they're saying, hey, there may be a connection to, because we see Dark Strange meet Captain Carter in some of the promotional materials. So they're thinking that that season 1 of What If has an actual.
It'll lead to that. It'll lead to an Avengers style thing. Which, again, to your point, Jason, we have seen clips of Carter with Strange and a couple of other characters as well. So I feel the same way. Yeah, I feel the same way.
And this is like, the Watcher came in and you saw him struggle with that concept. So I mean, maybe you're right. He questioned himself for probably, well, I don't know if it's the first time, it might be the millionth or it's 100th billionth time he's ever done it for himself, but definitely in the episode today that's the first time we've seen it where he manifested, he had an opportunity to stop something and he goes, should I stop this? He's going down the wrong path. He has that monologue and then he goes, I'm not going to do that. If I did it, how would, I haven't interfered in all these other worlds. Why should I interfere in this one? Why is this one any more valuable than the next one? Yeah. So,
and the fact
but they're saying that.
Go ahead, Jason.
But, okay, so again, from an artistic perspective, like as a device, in all the other episodes, like he's becoming slightly more and more physical. Like if you go back and look, like he's always just an outline. He's sort of ghostly, but in this episode, he becomes more. As tangible. The episode goes on, he's more tangible, and you can actually see like when we're going through all the deaths, and you see him close the door, and you see the Watcher in the back in the reflection.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch, Strange actually looks at it like he's like he can see it.
Yeah. I
love those. Like, there's so many little things that this overall show has gotten right, but that this episode did, I mean, nailed perfectly. And it's like also, those little things.
It's also very interesting because it's like, you know, we've seen the what if and the you know, oh good grief, what was it? The Loki episodes and everything, all this stuff going on, and the WandaVision, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Multiverse of Madness is coming up, and we've seen Doctor Strange in the Spider-Man. Like, Doctor Strange is the next linchpin, the next hinge point. Like, he's gonna, whatever he's doing, however he's involved with this, it's hitting everywhere. Like, they're peppering him in everything at this point. I'm really interested to see how that's going to play out.
I'll tell you something else I thought about when I was watching this was how Strange was okay with bending the rules. And it took me back to the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which we'll get to eventually today as well. But how everyone was saying, oh my gosh, you know, in the No Way Home trailer, is that really Strange? But having seen him in this and having seen his decidedly, I'm going to go this route regardless because I want to fix it. I think that's the same type of mentality that we're going to see with Strange here. And it's the fact that it's not a different Strange. It's the same Strange. His heart goes out to Peter, and he wants to make sure that he can give him his life back. And so he's doing it out of love.
Well, he's doing it out of two things. He's doing it out of love. He's doing it out of arrogance. Yeah. You know, Strange has always been, which I mean, Kim, I think I side with you on that. You know, it's like that arrogance from him has always been really hard for me to get through, is I just don't appreciate that in quality in folks. You know, that's not what I was raised to do, and so I never really thought it was a good thing.
Not becoming
Ray is a friend.
I've got enough arrogance in my life right there, so we're totally fine.
There you go. Okay, I get you.
I make up for the entire lifespan.
You seek out others that have other traits to balance your own, so that you feel like a whole person, right? We're never whole until we have our friends and family around us, and that's how it goes.
I'm okay with being the proverbial a-hole of the group.
You don't have to be
Not
okay with it. You just are. No. It doesn't matter, and you but so. He does this out of arrogance, and he does the same thing in this episode of What If. It's the arrogance, and you can't take that arrogance out of Doctor Strange. What is interesting is that the last, all of our last appearances of Strange have removed that arrogance in a certain form or fashion, right? He decides to trust Thor to take Loki off of Earth when he could have been like, no, I don't trust either one of you. I'm going to do this myself. Yeah. He decided to keep it to himself and work with the Time Stone, and knew that if he sacrificed all these things, that there was an opportunity. But he was being oddly magnanimous. And I think these last iterations that we've seen of him, the preview for No Way Home and this other preview, this most recent episode of What If, these are more true to Doctor Strange's mannerisms. Yeah. That's more true to that character. Yeah. The arrogance, I can do whatever I want. I think it almost felt more believable in a way to see this episode.
And Kim touches on something, on point, where both him and Tony have that arrogance. Where I think Tony had a natural progression of getting out of it. I think Strange won't. And I think that's what makes Strange him, is the fact that he does have that arrogance.
Exactly.
And it continues to drive him. And that arrogance, I think, is what we lead to our main plot in No Way Home. I really, the more and more I think about it, I don't want to see it be a different Doctor Strange. I don't want to see it be, someone else in disguise or anything else like that. I want this to be our Doctor Strange that does this for Peter because he thinks he can. And I am just this powerful that I can make this happen.
Right. And I want to help out the kid. I think so. Here, I completely agree with you, but it's like, so here's the thing about Doctor Strange. Like the problem is sort of like the Hulk. Strange works better as an ensemble character, at least in the comics. I love Benedict Cumberbatch, Cabbage Patch, whatever. But he's as a character, he's that Deus Machina character who shows up as like, I gotta explain all this to you because everything just went sideways. Like it's like when he showed up, you knew it was bad. That's sort of his thing. But I think yes, arrogance is a deal because he's got that surgeon's arrogance. But what I love is they said, look, the one that we have in the main MCU, his hands, the trembling, the pain that he lives with, is this constant reminder that he sucks. It's like you made a bad decision, and and you've been humiliated for it. Like he's been humbled for it. So again, I agree with you. I think it should be a Doctor Strange. I want that to be our Doctor Strange, who's like, I screwed up. I can fix this. It was like, I can fix this for this kid because he sees himself in him. It's like, because they've always had a relationship in the comics as well, where it's like, you're a good kid, you're trying to help out, and you're losing a life that that you deserve to have as a kid. I think he sees himself in that, and so I think that would be a nice one. But our life, going back to this episode, was it's like the only constant reminder that he has of his own weakness is her death. But the problem is her death is something he can't see beyond that.
Because that's what made him better. That's what made him the better person. Like she died in that she died, and that made him who he is. And then he, like she said, without her death, you wouldn't have become who you were, and you wouldn't have saved the universe, the world, from Dormammu. But I think, I mean, it makes sense that Spider-Man kind of finds a bit of a camaraderie with him, or goes to him in this case, because Kim mentions the same. Kim mentioned it the same way. Tony and him are very much alike. I mean, they have that same billionaire playboy sort of esque quality.
Their origins are basically mirror images of each other.
One's just super smart doctor. The other's just super smart weapons dealer. So
I think that's a good point that Genesis just made, which I don't often say that because
it's Genesis.
Marvel versus DC. But I love that. I love that comment, right?
Yeah.
So all of them are arrogant, and just because Strange and Stark say it out loud doesn't really make a difference. But to that point, I don't think it's all of them. I don't think it's certainly not Peter, right? Parker doesn't have that.
Parker has no arrogance,
but he has a humbleness that he feels he has to go do it, but that doesn't make him arrogant. That makes him a little bit foolish, if anything else.
He is definitely foolish.
Yeah.
Barton, to me, I don't think Barton has arrogance. I think, I mean, he's got confidence, but I wouldn't confuse that with arrogance.
Yeah. And I would even venture to say that Banner had arrogance because he knew he could make himself into Captain America, but became humbled by the fact that he messed up. And so I think whatever arrogance he did have to lead him to that's gone now. And now he's hesitant to really do anything other than just, not turn into the Hulk. Well, granted, that's now gone. Right. But even then, you still see a more humble side to Bruce. So I think it's true of a lot of characters in the MCU, but certainly not everything.
Yeah.
Well, I think arrogance is a very common foible to give a superhero, because if you're trying to give them a flaw, that's usually the easiest one to give them. It is straight up arrogance. Again,
Parker, it's the most. I mean, they go hand in hand. The power.
That much power. Which was actually Baron Zemo's whole point in Winter Soldier. Like,
that's true.
You people have literally made yourselves superhumans. Like, what do you think is going to happen from that? That's literally the whole point.
I love that.
Inks.
He wasn't even doing that. He just.
Yeah. Although let me game. Okay, so Genesis. Let me go on Genesis side for just 2 seconds here. It's not just Marvel though. DC, like all of DC's on, like their live action videos and all that. All of those shows, all those movies, basically have made their characters so arrogant that they're the ones basically helping out. They are the threats of every show.
Let's also not.
So
and
I agree with him on
one of the other comments there, though. Let's not mix up the facts. So yeah, Barton was going on slicing up all these bad guys on his own. That's vengeance. That's not arrogance. That's a completely different emotion. He is out there. He doesn't care if he dies. He's kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah,
that's not arrogance.
He wants to.
He's trying to take as many people out in the hopes that somebody takes him out in the process because he wants to feel in his mind he's doing some good.
Exactly. No, the fact that it can be both. I mean, it could be both, but that's not what it was. Yeah. It was straight up vengeance, and that's. I mean. Someone doesn't go. I mean, yeah, you could say I could do this all by myself, but when you couple that with vengeance, the vengeance is the thing that weighs the most. So that's the one that cancels out the arrogance. The arrogance is a secondary thing. Nobody's like, but Hawkeye, we could kill all these guys together. Why don't you let us help you? Yeah. And he's like, no, I could do it myself. And then you're like, you arrogant son of a bitch. That's not what it's like. It's him flat out going, no matter what, lost. I'm going to kill these people. He's lost. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's abandoned and lost completely.
And he's completely out of his right mind. Like he's done. Like he didn't just lose one person from his family. He lost
his whole family. Everybody.
So he's trying to do what he can to make stuff right in the hopes that he can just, someone will absolutely step up and take him out in the process. And he never found anyone. Right before they caught up to him. So
he was looking for suicide by bad guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly.
But again,
and aren't those the best vengeance stories ever?
Yes.
Thank you, John Wick.
Yeah.
Although I don't think he was looking for suicide. I think he was just ready.
No,
to kill
I think he was
everybody.
looking for straight up vengeance. I cannot wait.
I don't think he even cared. Yeah, tell me about it.
He didn't care if he was going to die or not. He's like,
I don't think he didn't care. Yeah.
John Wick 4 and now The Expendables 4 are like the two movies I'm looking to next year. One is continuing a storyline that's great. The other one is just dumb fun. Shut off your brain. I'm not expecting plot line or anything else.
I disagree with you. They're both turn off your brain.
Yeah, both of them are.
Both turn off your brain. Yeah. It's just, look, John Wick should have been. I know I'm the voice of dissent here. John Wick should have been one and done. Yeah. He should have died. Either he should have died where he died in the car, and that would have been as impactful as this What If episode number 4 was, or let him walk away with the pit bull and call it a day. You know what I mean?
I agree with Sean on this one.
The idea that they've tacked on these other freaking movies, which I enjoy them. Don't get me wrong. Don't pull that away from me because I enjoy them. I still think they're fun. But it has so much more meaning and so much more, weight. I always use the term weight to it. When there's a consequence, when there's an end. Because the ending is what makes it matter. Because you have to make everything matter to the point where it's going to just, And if you're talking about it,
movies actually just ended. It's just they were done, and you could walk away from them and appreciate them
and be like, "Wow, that was a great movie." And then somebody went, "Wasn't it? Now look at this movie," and you go, "Wow, that was a great movie too."
Yeah. Okay, so we're not talking about it. Free Guy is just that way. Loved it. Saw it this last weekend. It was amazing.
It's not that way. They've got a sequel coming.
I know.
Which anyway, do they?
They've already greenlit it.
Which makes me sad. I know. Just stop. It was so good. Just I'm saying, guys, see it. Go see it.
Going back to that episode of episode 4 of What If, though, I really that episode kind of messed with my head. Like that was an episode that I wanted to watch something light and fluffy, funny to get over it, because that really was just a constant beatdown. And then to see how it ended, where Strange is the only thing left, and he's going to be alone forever in his own contraption. It's just brilliant.
Unless he dismantles his contraption and dies as a part of it.
Yeah, it's true.
Or is brought out by the Watcher.
True.
Or is that villain that you see coming up?
Yeah. Or is the villain? So on that note, that crystalline sphere that he was in is reminiscent of the opening scenes where it's all this fragmented glass, but then also in the car, right? The car wreck, we see they specifically put a lot of these things through the fragmented glass of the car. So it's like there's that theme throughout the whole thing.
Can we take a second to
that prism kind of thing where time is not? Yeah.
Take a second to talk about the fact that the animation in the car scene when they're driving, and you can see the reflections of the individuals in the windows as they're driving. That animation style was beautifully done, because so many times do we see it where the windows, a single color or representative of quick flashes, but to see them driving in the dark with the light reflecting from outside, and then to see their reflections of the individuals in the mirror or in the window as they're driving, and you see the lights kind of going through. It was just beautiful artwork.
They did a really good job. Yeah.
I was just floored by this episode. Imagine if Loki, Kim goes, imagine if Loki came to pull him out of there with a TVA portal. That would be kind of funny.
The video game test. That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right.
Yep, exactly. So, I look forward to more. I don't know how they top this one. I really don't. I think this was strong.
They're gonna because look, next week we're gonna watch another one about some other random tale that we haven't seen before, and if they don't top it, they'll at least probably match it. I like Kim's idea that what if these continue to just push and push? That's right. The zombies have got to come at some point. But what if these continue to push and push and push and get darker and darker, or not even darker, but what if they stay in this vein and we find, some serious consequences to a lot of actions on other people's behalf? It could turn into a real heavy series, which, if that's the case, I'm going to want to watch it first in the night so I can then have my palate cleanser before I go to bed. I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this at night, so I took a break and I watched it during the day, and I was just like, I am glad I didn't watch it. Yeah. I'm glad I did not watch it the night it dropped, because had that happened, I would have been just as pissed off and depressed as I was going into that evening. So
Kim can attest to how frustrated I was watching that, because that was the last thing I watched, and it was crazy. No, Genesis, no. But yeah, it was a downer for sure, and it put you in a place where I did not want to be before going to sleep.
Listen. This sounds so awful. I had a sick enjoyment at the end of it, because I was just like, good on you, Marvel. You did much like when all the people died at the end of Endgame or Infinity War. Mm-hmm. When everybody died at the end of Infinity War, and I was just like, there it is. There's the consequences. There's everything. And the same thing happened at the end of Strange. I was just watching that, and I watched it happen, and then the music that hits when it's playing the credits, and I was like, oh, good job. Like golf clap. Like, good job, Marvel. That was good. Like, that was some somber ass shit, and
it was an ending he deserved. He deserved it.
He deserved it. And I was just, oh man, it was. That's the weird thing. It was good. Like, because of how horrible it was good. We just, exactly, Kim. That weird simultaneous. I love it, but I hate it. But it was so good, but I hate it, but I love it. That thing is like, when those emotions are stirred up as a result of a creation, that somebody's put out, you know it's good TV, or it's a good book, or whatever, or a good song, whatever the case may be.
It is a truly perfect.
Someone did their job.
It's good content. Somebody did their job very well. Where you love it so much, but it hurts so much. It is amazingly good content. It's not a good relationship, but it's an amazingly good content.
I wonder. Jeez.
Just throwing that out. Just say it. Just to clear the air. I don't want to lead anybody else down the wrong path or anything.
I do want to know when they turned in that script, what that first reaction was to reading that, and them. Because I would think as a writer, you have to think just a little bit, knowing how these Marvel movies are ending, or knowing how the shows are ending, or whatever, that they think, nah, they're not going to let us get away with this. Like they're, and then just to sit there and get that, dude, this is awesome, do it. Like as a writer, you would have had to have been like, holy crap, they're going to let me do it. There's nothing wrong with this episode. I couldn't find anything that I disliked.
Oh no, absolutely. There was nothing about it that I disliked. The only thing I wish they had done was just put, and a special thanks to Doctor Who for creating this entire concept at the bottom, at the end of the episode, because this entire thing was basically based on Doctor Who. The idea of a fixed point in time. They had an entire episode dedicated to this idea to breaking a fixed point. I'm just saying that's all this was.
Genesis, did you even watch this episode?
I understand, but Saturday morning cartoonish.
The 1 and 3. Actually, I'll say the first 3. Yeah, I'll give you that. But this one, no.
All right, hold on though, Jason. Just because they use the idea of a fixed point in time doesn't mean that they were inspired by Doctor Who.
No, Jason's going to hold on to that.
The concept of a fixed point in time has been, true. It's not something we see in movies or cartoons or whatever that often, but that's because people don't generally make time travel movies because of so many of the complications involved, and because as Mr. Nolan has proven multiple times, it's very difficult to connect with an audience when you're dealing with time.
Yes.
Whether that be in a dream that you've created, in a freaking real situation where you're traveling through space, and we can all go, the math, people, the math. Just look at it makes sense. Can you not do math? How many do I have here in my hands? What is this? That kind of thing. And then,
pleasure.
Oddly enough, the idea of, but I'm going to rewind this so I can pull the bullet back and then shoot. Like, when you're dealing with time, it's a difficult concept for a lot of people.
I think what Sean's trying to say, Jason, is Doctor Who doesn't have the patent on that.
Doctor Who doesn't have the patent on a lot of things.
It literally goes back to the 60s. So, but no, they did popularize it. Now, the idea that there is a destiny and that certain things can't be changed isn't. I'm trying to move this story on, guys. I've been trying to get off of Marvel for the last 15 minutes.
All right, so Rick and Morty. Speaking of time travel.
Thank you. There's a transition.
Did an awesome little thing for a teaser clip of, I think, their season finale, and seeing this kind of play out makes me chuckle, because as we all know, Adult Swim is fantastic, but Rick and Morty specifically are dealing with the concept of Back to the Future. To see Christopher Lloyd, as Rick was fantastic.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm curious. I like I told the guys before the show started, I don't want to see an entire episode of this, but a couple of minutes would make me chuckle.
Speaking of where you can watch Rick and Morty, which is on HBO Max as a subscription service, did everybody see the notice that HBO Max is pulling all of their streaming services off of Amazon devices?
That is new. Talk to us about that.
So apparently it's like September 15th or 13th or somewhere around there. They are terminating the ability to stream your HBO subscription through Amazon Prime services. Being removed entirely. You have to go find it. I know, Kim, I'm sorry. I just learned about this from my wife last night. So you have to either download the app or do whatever the case may be. Yeah, us too. We're very unhappy about it. We hope, and so the hope is this. I really, really hope that it's going to be like an app you can download in your smart TV. Do you know what I mean? And then you can use your subscription through them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we use our Fire Stick. That's all we watch. And the fact that it's being removed from Amazon, like I'm not going to be able to access it through my Fire Stick anymore. So I don't know what the alternatives are. I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't heard anything about it. I just heard about this last night, but my wife got a notification in her email about it. So
they are going to lose 5 million subscribers by dropping Amazon. It also makes sense because if you are in the business to be running your own platform,
that's true.
You don't need to be on your competitor's streaming device make the money. So
that's true. But Netflix isn't stupid. But hold on. But Netflix isn't stupid like that. Netflix still gives the app access through the Amazon because
Netflix is the 800-pound gorilla of the streaming world, though.
And who is HBO?
Not the 800-pound gorilla of the streaming world.
But they're on their way to being that if they continue to pair with the platforms that present them access to everybody's home.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just saying that you can tell that the decision is very much driven by a corporate greed on the fact of why are we going to give another streaming service access to our service when we're pretty sure, and this is the thought process, we're pretty sure we're going to get those 5 million back over here.
Yeah.
And let's be honest.
Which is a bad call.
No. Let's be honest. If people are really that hard up for HBO Max, they're not wrong in that decision. The full 5 million, maybe not, but close to it, yeah, sure. And then that's direct money back into their pockets.
Kim, I think
it's a win-win.
It's either September 13th or 15th. Ray, do you have the story up?
I can't find a good one. Okay. I'm looking for one, but
it's this month. It's this month. That's all I know. I think like my wife told me it was like September 13th. She said September and yeah. Who is HBO?
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah, Kim, it's crazy. It's that soon. They just announced it all of a sudden for no reason. Just be like, you know what? We're dropping our affiliation with Amazon. So I don't know.
So it's not for no reason. We know the reason. Ray's already explained the reason. Plus, Warner Media got that whole buyout by Discovery. So there's. Yeah, I disagree with Ray.
I know what you're saying. I know. When I say no reason, I don't mean. I mean no reason that benefits any of their subscribers. That's what I mean. No reason that actually benefits anybody. It's guess what, folks? We're gonna make you change everything. Hannibal Lecter noises. I'm gonna make you change everything just because we want to capture. To Ray's point, we want to capture that little bit of money that we're not getting because we're hosting, because people are accessing this app through another streaming service.
Well, let's be honest, though. It's not even a little bit of money. If you're talking $5.99 over 5 million people, that's not a little bit of money. That's quite a bit of money, and that's what HBO Max is looking at. And again, I am looking at this from a very corporate procedure of how it's
I know done. What you're looking at it
do
from.
I like
I'll
it?
Tell you,
no, I don't like it.
I understand where you're looking at this from, and I'm looking at it from the opposite end of it, which is the consumer portion of it, which I'm going, look, I say it's a little bit because it's a little bit of money per person. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying is you're affecting a huge swath of people for a little bit of money. Now, to your point, yes, that little bit of money from that huge swath of folks is going to add up to a lot. And I'm really happy that you get to buy your second yacht that you want to keep in Mallorca because you don't want to fucking drive the other one from the coast of wherever to wherever. But sorry, this is still PG-13. That's only one F-bomb. But that's where it's bullshit, right? Yeah. That's where it's bullshit. Stop soaking me for money on the idea that is going to make everything better. the money only goes to the top 5, 10, 15% of the company. The rest of those people doing those day-to-day jobs aren't going to see that wealth.
No.
It's a hose job. It's a full-on hose job, and it's bullshit.
But how are they supposed to keep creating all of this trash DC material for
Genesis?
HBO
I will
Max?
turn off your mic.
They're gonna keep
without that extra.
From now on,
cents.
you are hereby dubbed White Genesis.
Listen, Jason.
You are the WG.
White Genesis. Everybody wants to see a soap opera.
Real Genesis, I hope you're laughing at this right now.
LFG. Right, LFG. Everybody wants to see, a soap opera. So, it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. That's what...
It's...
DC is far more of a soap opera genre than Marvel ever was. Always has been, always will be. DC is corny. No.
Okay,
DC is more corny. Do you really want
to have this conversation? Because I'll have the conversation. I just thought...
that's a whole other show. And we're
DC is more corny. No. DC is way cornier than Marvel ever was. And I do say that absolutely. Knowing the fact that Marvel has tons of corny shit. The whole love triangle with Wolverine and Scott and Jean. Like, I get it. But DC has
That's no longer a love triangle, by the way. In the comic books, they all sleep together now. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that.
That's the definition of a love triangle. That's still a love triangle. Like,
no, it's not. It's a completed love triangle.
Ray, apparently you've never been in a love triangle before, and I'm sorry about that. But anyways,
it's more like a love parallelogram now.
Still, though, did they high five? Like, did they do the whole? Never mind. So anyway, DC has always been corny. I don't. It's throwing me off my game, Kim. You're throwing me way off my point here.
Yes, they are, Kim. They actually are.
They are. And they're all clones, by the way. All of the best experts.
Poor Sean. Jason, shut up. Let Sean talk. We let you talk earlier. DC's always been a what, Sean?
I was happy to sit back and let him do his thing, man. He never gets to talk. No. DC is just they're dealing with antiquated superheroes. You're basing your entire superhero genre off of a theme built in the 50s, where it was seriously. This is the thing. Like, the idea of the American dream, that's prevalent in Superman. That's prevalent in any type of Batman is the darkest example that DC can really put out that we have, where it's like you have death of parents. He's still a freaking rich billionaire. Oh, boo-hoo, you and your tons and tons of money.
So's Tony Stark.
Agreed, but that's the only thing he has. There's nothing else. We've seen this arc with Tony Stark where there's so much more than that. He deals with the loss of people that he's killed as a result of building an android that he thought was going to save the world and instead destroyed an entire freaking city.
Tony Stark is Marvel's best villain. And even then,
that's true.
Even then, they also killed him off.
That's true. But seriously, like, what I'm saying is DC is dealing with antiquated ideas because they're dealing on this 1950s idea. I'm not going to say he's wrong about that. I'm
laughing at this one.
Yeah, that's what I was laughing too. I thought.
No, seriously, it's the thing. That's why Marvel was always, to me, so much better than DC, was because Marvel gave each person their own tragedy that was directly related to whatever power they had. And that, to me, was just like, this is fantastic.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. DC is based off that Greek mythology of old, and Marvel is based off the pop culture of today. And sometimes I want to read about my Greek heroes, and sometimes I want to read about the pop culture of today. It doesn't make either of them less, in my opinion. I'm not sitting there saying that DC has more winners than what Marvel does, not by far. But DC, to me, does have a strong... I think they're going to be more impactful stories 10, 20 years down the road from now. I just do.
I am...
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jason.
No, please. Well, I was just going to say, it's the difference between characters and archetypes. Marvel has characters. DC has archetypes.
Yep.
Now, the problem is archetypes work great in grand Wagnerian stories. That's when DC really shines. The problem with the shows is they don't have the ability to do these grand Wagnerian narratives. And so the problem is we end up getting I understand the soap opera. I mean, heck, Walking Dead's a soap opera. My only complaint about DC
Arrow is a soap opera.
Arrow is a soap opera.
Flash is a soap opera.
They're all
Black
soap
Lightning
operas.
they're all soap operas.
Right.
Every single one is a soap opera.
But the problem is they made
Vision, WandaVision.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying
all a soap opera.
My problem isn't the soap opera. My problem is with DC, the television shows, because they can't go and do these big Wagnerian stories. We end up getting bad writing where essentially all of the problems that they are all facing would go away if the superheroes stopped doing their job.
That's absolutely true.
But that's true. That's true of Marvel too, though.
No, hold on.
Look at Tony. If Tony doesn't do half the stuff he does, you don't have you don't even have Ultron.
I was going to say if Tony hadn't created Ultron, we would never have.
Hold on,
that's
Tony. But that's Tony.
No, that's
again, I get that.
If Banner doesn't sit there and chase the Captain America dragon, there's no Hulk. Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
But he was working with S.H.I.E.L.D. He was
that's
asked
not
to
what
do
I.
that. Now,
that's
again,
not. No.
Hold
yes
on.
Or no?
Yes
or no, Jason?
It's not Batwoman, where Batwoman is literally aiding and abetting.
Dance, my puppets, dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason, I'm not sold on this. I'm not. Sorry. I think it's both. I think both of them have issues where if they would just stop doing what they're doing. And again,
let me tell you Marvel's biggest problem. Marvel's biggest problem is their characters don't actually have real conversations with each other. Like the entire third act of Black Panther, and I love the Black Panther movie, but that entire third act is resolved if Chadwick Boseman comes up to his friend, I can't remember his name, and is like, "Hey, dude, like we had the guy, but then some other dude showed up and kidnapped and stole him from us. That's who we're looking for." And then when he shows up, it's like, that's got to be the guy who stole what's his face? It's like
Claw?
If that had happened, Claw. Like if that happened, the third act never happens. Or
not true. Not true. Disagree. Completely disagree because he's got so much pent up angst and anger over the fact that T'Challa's father killed his father. There's way more involved in that than just the fact that you lost this dude.
Well, no, but the whole point is it's like Claw. That's his name. It's like Claw was the guy who killed him. He's like, your father couldn't do it. Now the Claw. By the way, as an entire side, the voice for the Claw I just found out was Frank Welker, who's the voice of Megatron. The Claw voice is also the Soundwave voice, but Soundwave, they just ran it through some sort of machine to give it that.
Jason, wrap up your point really quick so we can move on to our last topic.
I'm just saying half of the Marvel movies are resolved if people just actually sat down and had a 2-minute conversation. That's it.
No, you Marvel lover. Disney must be paying you this time, Genesis.
This is what I absolutely love about that statement, though, Jason.
You're both an ox and a moron.
The reality of any situation in a relationship is the hardest thing to do is to talk to one another.
Communication.
Communication is one of the worst things that we deal with as humans. And that right there. That's why it works so well. It's because it's so relatable. You've always had that instance where you've been like, if I could have just talked to my best friend about this one thing when we were young 15 years ago, that could have changed things for us at that time. And it's not like they're not still your best friend, but maybe if you'd had a conversation at that point, you could have had somebody locked up like a Chinese finger trap if that was your goal, But that being, that's the point. Communication is so relatable.
Yeah.
Gods Among Us, where you're looking at Superman, you're looking at Wonder Woman, you're even Batman, because he's unattainable. He's a billionaire. It's never going to happen. You're looking at these unrelatable characters where it just doesn't work. So that's why Marvel is so much more relatable
again,
than
characters
DC.
versus archetypes.
Versus archetypes, exactly.
It's all, which makes it always about the writer. The problem is it's hard to write well for archetypes.
Again,
now, Shang-Chi though is going to be next episode because I'm watching it tonight.
Same here. But
I don't know when I'm going to see it.
I'll tell you. Again, I think Jason hit the nail on the head there. It's all about the writer. There are great stories from DC. There are great stories from Marvel.
There are really good stories in DC. Yeah.
And there are piss stories from Marvel. And same with DC.
Never belittle of it. I just know the two differences. And if people want to argue that one's not the other, I have to say you're fundamentally wrong. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy the other one.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of folks lose in that argument is people get so pigeonholed into going, yes, but it's bad because of this. And I have to say, no, that's a separate argument.
Yeah.
Looking at the two as being different is rational and explainable. But the fact the fact that I can look, I watched every single episode of Arrow. It was cheesy as all. Camembert has nothing on Arrow. All right. Brie has nothing on Arrow. It is cheese. And it was fantastic. I loved every minute of it.
Because cheese
doesn't mean I'm not saying that it is cheesy and that's what it is. So
seasons 1 and 6 of Arrow are probably my favorite because they were both stripped down and just not having to deal with magic or metahumans or I like those seasons.
All that good stuff.
All right, so one quick note. Supposedly they've had a viewing of The Batman, and they are calling it a horror film and saying it's definitely a much more different take on what it is. But let's be honest, that's how Batman should be. Batman should be the last thing you expect to see.
Kim, if I'm being honest,
well, you know what?
Kim, we know why. It was
the bars. It was the thing with the bars. That's what
ladder.
That was. Yeah.
We get it. Same here.
Yeah.
But we're getting our first reports from the Batman, and they're saying it looks awesome. Last thing before we call it a day, the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer came out. Gentlemen, what do we think? Jason, I know you had to have lost it when the Green Goblin bomb popped off.
You know that GIF of like it's like one of those My Little Ponies, and it's like internal squeeing, and it's just that was me. I'm not even gonna lie, straight up. As soon as I saw that pumpkin bomb, I lost it. I was done. But then to see Alfred Molina show up, again, we all knew he was in it. That's like the worst kept secret since Area 51. Yeah. But it's like when he shows up, I was like, hell yeah! But that pumpkin bomb. Now I do agree with you, Ray. I think what we're going to see is that he is actually moving between dimensions. I don't necessarily think that those characters are like we're seeing them in our favorite MCU universe. I think he is dimension hopping, and if there's a if we see Andrew Garfield or if we see Tobey Maguire, it's going to be it's going to be people who see them, but then it's going to switch over to
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's basically them. That's why Alfred Molina recognizes Peter Parker, is because he sees his Peter Parker when it's actually our Tom Holland Peter Parker.
Yep. It's a reflection of them, which I would love to see, and I hope that's what happens. Who knows if it happens, but we're gonna find out. So the dialogue between these two is fantastic as always.
Yeah,
I love his acting, and again, I think that wink is not I'm not Doctor Strange. I think it's I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna help you, kid.
What's the point of being Sorcerer Supreme if you can't help out some people?
Yeah. So it looked good. I was happy to see it. Again, we're living in a time where we get to see and the magic and the art behind this come out and look fantastic. So I'm always a big fan for it, and hey, I will continue to see movies whether they're good or bad if it's characters that I grew up with watching. I won't always feel the same about them, but I do love that we're at a point where we can see this. I mean, to me that's great. Jason, there's your scene there, right there, buddy.
I know. That pumpkin bomb, man, as soon as I saw that, like I said, I was straight up that meme. Now, that being said, I would love I'd love to be wrong on this and we actually get all the actors, but if this brings those characters into the MCU universe, because I thought about this the other way, which was variants. Like, we still have technically Dr. Otto Octavius running around the MCU. There's supposed to be I just forgot an Osborn running around. If it's like in doing this event, it somehow awakens, like it merges those universes, and it's like now it's like, okay, now Alfred Molina is no longer just Dr. Octavius. Now he's Doc Ock, and now he's not just Osborn. He's the Osborn from that one. Like, it's something like that. I thought would be cool. We can skip ahead to finally do that Sinister Six film we've been wanting for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. The one thing that I did like about this trailer, which is a rarity for Marvel trailers, granted it's still Sony, it didn't end with some comedy. Usually the Marvel trailers end on a comedic note. Even the last Eternals trailer ended on a both of those trailers ended on a comedic note.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
And that's usually their kind of thing. But this in the last two Spider-Mans also ended on a comedic note. This one didn't. So I kind of enjoyed seeing that they changed that up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. It's still, there was quick talk about them postponing Venom. They're no longer doing that with Venom 2. There was a quick talk that they were going to postpone Ghostbusters. They did by 1 week, and it was just because Top Gun 2 moved its spot. So they're now moving a week to get some room between them. Still looking forward to Dune and, of course, Spider-Man. So 4 good movies that I'm looking forward to for the rest of this year. Shang-Chi, I hope I enjoy it. Right, I'm gonna go check it out today.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited
about that. Hopefully the next time, but we'll do more then, I guess. Right, guys?
Yeah, for sure. I gotta get up, step up, and get some tickets and go see it. So.
Yeah. All right. That's a good point, Kim. We'll see for sure. So, all right, Jason, Scooby, sign us out, man.
Thank you for watching whatever the hell this has been. We appreciate you. Y'all are here every 2 weeks to put up with this. We don't know if you're serving some sort of penance, what you've done wrong in your life that would bring you to us, but we appreciate you spending this time together. Please like, follow, subscribe, share these videos with your enemies, your friends, people who you think, you would like to eventually murder, whatever. Like that, just share.
Jason's comments reflective of Jason McClain
are his own and do not reflect the comments or opinions expressed here on Vagabond Nerds.
But we do thank you. We do appreciate you. If you would like to reach out to us in between episodes, you can email us at vagabondnerds@gmail.com. Of course, we are eventually trying to bring back the website. That's a whole other kettle of fish we're having trouble with, but whatever. So in the meantime, be good to yourself, be good to those around you, and go spend money over at Titan Comics.
Hold on really quick. Kim, don't take Genesis seriously. The man hates everything equally.
Yeah, he really does.
All right, guys.
He hates everything. Like the only thing he doesn't hate is My Little Ponies. He's one of those brony guys.
He's a brony.
That's all he watches. Yeah, that's all he watches are those.
Oh my gosh.
And although I do have to admit, he and my wife shared the love of what's that people.
Everyone, be good to each other. We love y'all. Please be kind and respectful, and we will see y'all next show.